Hey, beloveds. I know you guys are probably saying, oh my God, I am so tired of hearing about this Diddy case, this Diddy thing, Diddy, everywhere. I know y'all, but this is a case. There's no other case like this case. None. There's no former Hollywood figure that has as many cases as Diddy has. And the details are so atrocious that I can't, not only are they atrocious, but I cannot keep up with this every single day, because every day there's 99 different allegations coming out against him. Now my first thought was, I don't know about this. Maybe they're using him as a scapegoat, maybe they're just doing this because they know that they can't hide much anymore, so they're just going to put it all on one black man. But then I had to say to myself, well, he allowed it. He volunteered himself, and in exchange for money, riches, fame, and power. And these people in Hollywood, if that's what you want to call it, are obsessed with power. Okay, so they are willing to do anything to achieve perfection, what is called perfection, amongst their peers. And one of the things is, we can do whatever we want to do. We don't have to adhere to anything that the normal population adheres to, because we're special and we're better than them, and we do what we want to do, however we want to do it. And not to mention the fact that they're bowing down to low-level gods, false idols, and what do you call it? What can I say? Bringing out these low-level energies and selfishness. And I always tell people that when I read the Satanic Bible, I read it because I was curious, guys. And when I want to know something, I read about it, because if I don't do my own research, how am I going to know? I'll just be listening to what other people say. So I read it, and basically, it's not what you guys think, that it's full of demonic rituals and all that kind of stuff. It's basically saying, it's all about me. Why should I care about anybody else? That is what the Satanic Bible consists of. When you narrow it down, it's pure selfishness and narcissism. And if you look at anything explaining narcissism these days, they will mention it being demonic. Unfortunately, we got to deal with this because it's here. Whether we like it or not, whether it's uncomfortable to us or not, it is here, and we have to deal with it, because you know why? Now it's not just affecting grown people who can make their own decisions, but it's also affecting children. And us as adults, our job is to protect children, not to allow these type of things to be going on. And this is a universal law. This is a law that's coming straight from higher up, the Most High, the Creator, that we should protect each other and we should protect children. Okay, we wasn't protecting each other. We was making nefarious decisions. We were in a quest to find money and whatever. But the way that these people feel that they can get all of these things that they deem valuable is to worship another god and to invoke low-level beings and work with these people in corrupting humanity. And that is where the buck stops, because too many people were being fooled. And you guys don't think God exists. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't think that, they'll say, bless, God bless, and thank God and all of this, but they don't really believe in God, because if they were practicing their so-called belief in God, they would be able to recognize something other than God when it's right in your face. instead of protecting these things. You understand? It has to be talked about. And the more that I look into this case, the more sordid and disgusting it gets, and the more it really, really proves that these people are into some really disgusting, horrible things. And I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to admit. It's hard to admit for me too, because I wouldn't have thought in a million years that anybody from my generation would be participating in this type of stuff. But when it comes to money, anything goes, guys, especially in Hollywood. Anything goes. So there's this new article that came out yesterday discussing a new claim that has been filed. I can't even keep count anymore how many cases have been filed against him. So, and I haven't went back and actually did the research on that. But this particular article is saying that, let me show y'all this. Sean Diddy Combs faces claims of raping 13-year-old girl in 2000 with unnamed male and female celebrity in latest round of lawsuits. So this is getting really disgusting, guys. I think as we go along, it's going to get even more disgusting, because even though Diddy deserves everything that comes his way for whatever he may have allegedly done, he wasn't doing it by himself. And this kind of stuff was going on for ages, guys. This has not just started with Diddy and whomever his cohorts were. And let's not forget to mention those that knew what was going on and said nothing. So they are just as guilty, if you ask me. Now, the presently incarcerated Sean Diddy Combs is approaching the first anniversary of Cassie Ventura's quickly settled sexual assault. I'm sorry, guys. I can't say that word. SEXUAL assault and abuse case against him. Now, that year went by so doggone fast. It seemed like just yesterday it seemed like it was months ago instead of a whole year. Now 6 new lawsuits filed in the last few hours, and this was earlier this morning, accused the one-time music mogul of rape and more, including an attack on a teenage girl with other celebrities in the room and participating. See, they gotta go to jail. They gotta go to jail, y'all. I know that we like these people and we like their music, but they're not, we don't see them who they really are. It's just like when you meet somebody and you thought they were one way, a friend, a lover, whatever, and they really had a whole hidden personality. That's these people to the 100,000th power. Looking for a place to rest, the plaintiff entered what she believed to be an empty bedroom so she could lie down for a moment, claims the violation of New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act based action filed Sunday in federal court in New York by a now approximately 37-year-old Jane Doe on her actions at a post-MTV VMAs party late on September 7, 2000. Now, she was 13 years old. And they're saying that she was hanging around outside of the MTV VMAs party, hanging around and saying that she wanted to go to the awards or whatever. And they said, you can't come to the awards, but you can come to the after party. And allegedly, this is where this all took place, at the after party. Represented by Houston attorney Tony Busby, who has already filed 6 previous jury-seeking suits against Combs for RAPE and more. The then 13-year-old Jane Doe claims she was feeling woozy and lightheaded after just one drink at the party. Soon after, Combs, along with the male and female celebrity, entered the room, the 19-page action says. Combs aggressively approached the plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." Combs then threw the plaintiff toward another male celebrity, Celebrity A, who removed the plaintiff's clothing as she grew more and more disoriented. So she was feeling funny. She had had a drink at the party. She said it tasted like juice or whatever. And she only had one. The plaintiff was held down by Celebrity A, who raped her, while Combs and Celebrity B, a female, watched. Jesus Lord, man. 13-year-old girl and a female was there watching, and another grown man was there watching. After the male celebrity was done, Combs then did the same thing to the plaintiff, while the Celebrity A and Celebrity B watched. Combs attempted to force the plaintiff to perform ORALSEX on him, but she resisted by hitting Combs in the neck, and he stopped. No more information was given about the duo of other celebrities, but it's no secret that Combs' increasingly infamous white parties and other events attracted an A-list crowd over the decades. Once the alleged assault by Combs and his unnamed pals ended in this particular filing, the victim got out of the room and out of the large White House with a gate U-shaped driveway where the drug-fueled party was taking place, and eventually got in contact with her dad, who came to pick her up and take her home. Oh my God, I know he was furious. After the assault, plaintiff fell into a deep depression, which continued to affect every facet of her life. With a total of 12 suits in the past week alone from Busby, and more expected in the next few days, it doesn't look like the Texan is bluffing. In the second case now of Combs assaulting a minor, the half a dozen new civil cases from 3 women and 3 men are seeking unspecified damages. Traversing from 2000 to just 2 years ago, the cases claim battery, RAPE, false imprisonment, SEXUAL harassment, and RAPE by Combs, and with others in cities like New York, LA, and Las Vegas. All the cases say the alleged victims were required to sign restrictive NDAs before entering the parties and other events. So I guess because they're saying that the best defense that his defense team will have, his legal team, would be that he would be saying that these people did this consensually, like they consented to all of this happening to them. Now, how can a 13-year-old, and I think the youngest one that they said was a victim was 9 years old at the time, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly, how can they give consent to anything like that? And how can, even if they were adults, give consent if they were DRUGGED? If they were under the influence of something, then they were not in their right faculties. So they wouldn't have been in a position to make any type of decision like that. Now, the type of drug they're saying that was used, as in all the new jury seeking suits, this one involving the then 13-year-old shows an actual exemplary container used by Combs and members of his team to spike people's beverages with the often harsh GHB drug. Now, they said this drug GHB is a type 3 or something, I think they call it. And it was originally used to treat people who were narcoleptic. Though Combs has denied all allegations against him from longtime ex-girlfriends Ventura and the now over 20 other individuals who have claimed assault, abuse, and more, the slipping of something that makes them woozy and lightheaded into guest drinks comes up over and over in the legal actions against the Bad Boy Records founder, including the potentially life behind bars charges of sex trafficking. Combs was arrested for by the feds on September 15th in New York City. Now, I was hearing things, but I wasn't hearing anything about Diddy like that. Unless it was something that hit the news. I was hearing little things about him being attracted to the same sex. But all of this debauchery and drugging people and having these crazy parties, I wasn't really hearing about that. But they're saying that it started when Cassie filed those lawsuits. But in all actuality, it started when Jamie Foxx was talking about how he used to be recording. He had some damaging videos that he got from some of Diddy's freak-off parties. He didn't say freak-off, but he said some of his freaky parties, some of his parties. So, it was actually Jamie Foxx that started talking about those parties, guys, and what was going on. And suspiciously, he fell ill and almost passed away. And it reminded me of the same thing that happened to Al B. Sure, because it just seems like both of them, their organs shut down, and all of a sudden they was in the hospital with this mysterious disease. 2 years ago around Halloween, which wasn't too far away from when Takeoff was taken out. And Al B. Sure was laying up in the hospital in a coma. And he had been in a coma for a whole month before his son even said anything about it. I think it was last year around this time. Representatives for Combs did not respond to requests for comment from Deadline, which is the people who published this article, this early morning. If they do, this post will be updated. Last week, Combs' reps called Busby and his initial 6 suits to be nothing more than a clear attempt to garner publicity. However, as these half a dozen actions hit court docket Sunday, Combs' lawyers in his sex trafficking and more criminal case from the Department of Justice filed a letter to U.S. District Judge Aaron Subramanian to issue an order prohibiting further extrajudicial statements from prospective witnesses and their lawyers that substantially interfere with Mr. Combs' right to a fair trial. This gag order by any other name follows a move by the Mark Agnifilo and Teeny Geragos led defense team to get prosecutors to reveal the names of Combs' accusers, and claims by the defense that Homeland Security agents leaked the 2016 LA hotel surveillance footage that showed a toweled Combs beating, if I'm making mistakes, it's because the article has a few mistakes in it, that showed a toweled Combs beating Ventura as she tried to escape one of her then boyfriend's so-called freak-offs. Can you imagine that your man or your significant other is having you consume substances and have long, intimate sessions with people you don't know for days, and beating you if you don't want to do it? Twice denied pre-trial release on $50 million and more in the month since his arrest and appealing in a long shot third attempt, Combs sits in Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, facing life behind bars if found guilty at a trial set to start on May 5th, 2025. And he's making all these demands. He's demanding the victims' names and all of this stuff. Like, he is something. He is truly a narcissist. Truly. Of course, with other big names potentially coming out, Combs' case could get notoriously bigger or go to a plea deal before that trial date. So, what type of plea deal? The only plea deal this man can get is if he tell on people. And you know what? He shouldn't even have to tell on people. Everybody should come out now and tell their stories out there of everybody who attacked them and did something disgusting to them like this. This is horrible. This whole case is horrible to the point where I don't even like to read the headlines every day about it, because every time a new accusation and the details comes out and the details are released, it just gets more and more disgusting, if you ask me. And there's another story that was out here. Let me see. I think it was on Media Takeout. I don't know, but let me play this for you guys, because I don't know what else I was going to talk about now. It was another thing that came out, but listen to this about him and Usher. Check this out.
Here is a new blind item that is allegedly about how Usher is one of Diddy's co-conspirators, but also one of his victims. Apparently, an unindicted co-conspirator of the producer/wannabe rapper is also one of his victims. And again, this is allegedly Usher and Sean Diddy Combs. And the related headline reads, Usher's friendship with Diddy sparks criticism as he speaks at Kamala Harris's rally. Usher faced criticism for his connection to Sean Diddy Combs at Kamala Harris's rally in Atlanta. Kamala Harris was out for a rally in Atlanta, Georgia on Saturday, October 19th, where singers Usher and Lizzo supported her. Usher got on stage and sang We Ready by Archie Eversole with the crowd. However, he faced backlash over his friendship with Sean Diddy Combs, who was charged with racketeering and trafficking in September. The user wrote on X, Kamala is so cooked she is campaigning with Diddy freak-off people.
It's not a game out here, guys. It is seriously going down. And it's about time. It's about time. Yeah, of course, we are used to seeing these people in Hollywood, the whole Hollywood scene, and, you know, hearing music from these people. But if you look at the debauchery that's going on, it's about time, guys. It's about time. I even read an article where one of the witnesses at one of his parties said that he was so inebriated that his body was contorting, like his eyes was popping out unusually and his body was contorting, they said. And the only time I hear anything about bodies contorting is when I'm watching a demonic movie or some shit on TV. You know what I'm saying? So this guy was really involved in some deep stuff that I can't really articulate to y'all as well as I would like to, but they truly believe that these other entities are their gods, and that the way that they can keep fame and stay on top is to cater to these people that are in the same religious belief as they are, because it's a religious belief. It's just not the one that we have. It's just a different one. And it's very hard for people to believe because, you know, they always say the devil will hide in plain sight and always tries to hide, and that's what they was doing. They've been hiding all these things. And some of the names that I've heard, guys, I can't even repeat the names because y'all gonna be pissed off if I tell y'all. So I know they're not gonna release all the names of all the people. I know they're not. When it comes down to a black person that's being accused, and I'm not excusing him at all, I'm just telling y'all an observation that I see. When it comes down to a black man being accused of these things, they'll put it all out there. But we didn't hear all the details about Epstein, and he had a whole island where some of this type of stuff was taking place. Unspeakable things. Unspeakable. And there was a list that was released then, and nothing happened to those other people in those lists, like they said. They might have lost a show here and there or something, but they didn't get the punishment that fit the crime. You know what I'm saying? So now some of the same people that was on that list are on this list. So I'm just waiting to see if they just gonna blame one person for every doggone thing and let the rest of these people get away, because we have such short-term memory and a short attention span that we may not even realize that all of these people were witnesses. All of these people that was around him, all of the people that wasn't around him, they all knew what was going on, and they all knew that little people were involved, and they said nothing. And that is disgusting. If that doesn't tell us that we should stop idolizing these people, I don't know what does. But I'll try to come back as much as I can and kick it with y'all. But the kickoff for what's going down with Diddy right now, it was Jamie Foxx that started that when he started talking about the stuff that he videoed at Diddy's parties. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Peace and love.